we're just talking about the early childhood development here in Canada as opposed to what we're used to in Nigeria and for our South Africa. For me, I honestly feel that it's not a bad thing that the kids in Nigeria get to learn, because I think children learn as much as you throw at them. That's what I've actually realized. They learn as much as you throw at them at that age. It's even difficult to assimilate a lot when you're an adult. But what are they learning? To me, I feel like here they tend to teach them about life, like how to go about their daily activities, how to take care of yourself, you know, how to do things by yourself. You know, the self-confidence, they're able to talk to you. And I think it prepares them for the tougher class. That's just, you know, what I feel. So now let's talk about homeschooling. What do you guys think about it? Is this something? I don't think I've heard any Nigerian woman, don't let me generalize and say an African woman, but I've not heard a Nigerian person, male or female, say, oh, I'm homeschooling my kids here.
Homeschooling. Homeschooling. During the Christmas break, where the public schools were just, I think they were on 2 weeks break, and then, you know, they did homeschooling.
They did online classes.
Online classes.
Tell me about it.
I said, what is, you know, when I took the survey, and they said, would you like your kids to continue online or go back to school? I said, back to school, back to school. I even wrote in the comment section, back to school. Because I just couldn't do, I can't do homeschooling. Kudos to those parents that do that, but I cannot.
I don't know how they
those
do it.
Teachers, I just wish they pay them triple. They deserve everything. No, tell me your price.
It's too funny. Because you're dealing with your own kids. These guys have to deal with everybody else's kids too. So that's why I'm like, hey.
I think, was it a year plus or so at the daycare, I know a teacher took off. She's going to be away for 5 years because she wants to homeschool her kids. Wow. So, you know, that I was
but she's a teacher. So
I was taken aback in the sense that I'm like you're going to be teaching these two kids yourself. And she was like, yes, that she will run the curriculum. I'm like, hey. I know, and I don't know if it's something we are going to ever embrace.
I don't have the patience for it.
So.
No. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses.
Oh, yeah.
It's not it's not one of my strengths. I mean, even homework sometimes where it's a struggle. So
homework.
Although now that they're growing older, I don't have to bother anymore. But no, it's just not my strength.
They do homework with kids that will tell you to do stuff only the way their auntie or uncle taught them in school. Like
I know.
It has to be. I don't know if anybody noticed that with kids here.
Yes.
So if you're trying to teach a child something and the child is like, no, mom, it's wrong. Even if you're arriving at the same answer, they argue with you.
I was teaching Jaden. I wasn't teaching her. I said, let's do your tracing. And, you know, we said, you got to A. I said, just draw it like this. Draw it. I said, no, across. I'm like, I mean, reason with me. My way would do it. Reason. He said, "Mommy, it's across." And I was like, "Okay, just
no, I give up because no matter what you say, you see that thing their auntie says in school or their uncle says in school, the teacher says in school. That's it. Any other thing you're saying, you're just wasting your time.
And for a lot of us, the terminologies are even different.
Yes.
Like I remember teaching my daughter, you know how we do carryover in... call it carryover.
Oh, I am in that dilemma now.
It's grouping. She said, no, mommy, it's grouping. I said, it's the same thing. It's carry.
My son hasn't gotten to the age of doing those carryover, but we already started at home, right? I usually will take our time to teach Bloom, even after, before the lockdown. We do stuff just ahead. So we got to that part where we do I told Victor, I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to explain. But you know what? I taught him as carryover. Maybe when he gets to the grade where they do grouping, then he will know what is grouping. So I just leave it like that. But I think homeschooling is good. But if you're not gifted,
you have to also consider the children. Like, don't get me wrong, it's probably going to be hard on you parents as well.
Yeah.
Say you parents, because I don't have one yet. Just pulling that away right there. No, but it's probably going to be difficult for the kids as well, because being around other children is important for development, and also just learning how to be with other children. Because they also teach kids, they'll be like, okay, you guys group up, you know, learn how to actually like work as a team, because that has real life implications.
Okay, let's talk about the challenges that you think the kids face, you know, with the Canadian educational system as newcomers in Canada. So we're talking about kids that have moved over here. What kind of challenges do you think they face with the educational system? So I could start from language. I think, like I mentioned in one of our episodes where, of course, we speak English in Nigeria for sure. But sometimes, I might speak too fast.
Oh,
and then
it might be a little Nigerian thing.
I might come off like I'm talking too fast, and then it might become like, oh, what is she saying? Like, can she, slow down? So I think the kids might actually face that as a challenge, a big one.
Yeah, one of the challenges that her daughter had when she moved to Canada was she tried to enroll her in pre-K, and they said, oh no, she's too smart, she can't. Because she knows how to say A to Z, 1 to 20. And I said, oh, no, she can't enroll in pre-K. We need to, allow other kids that don't know all those things. We need to teach them.
Yeah,
and she was so frustrated.
Yeah,
she said,
what do you...
Yeah, she was so frustrated. She said, why? Why do you have to, And she said before she went for the interview, she told the child, hey, you don't have to say you know how to say A to Z. Work with me. Work with me. But kids will always be kids.
Yeah.
So she said that she had to wait 1 year before her child was able to get into pre-K.
In Nigeria, one thing I know is if your kid is very smart at that age, you obviously would jump a class.
Yeah.
Well, I think I understand where they're coming from. Because if you're in pre-K, let's imagine like the kid have been in daycare, they're expected to have learned some certain things. While there's some kids who are just at home that the parents didn't take to daycare at all. So I think the pre-K here allows them to come and get the feel of school, allows them to come and get the feel of socializing with other people. So if you take your kid for that interview and your kid does outstanding well, you're supposed to be happy, but that's not the case. Then what you hear is we're going to put your child on a wait list until we get like the kids that really needs this education, this particular part of it, before we can actually call you. So we got the same thing with Bloom too, where they told us like we're not guaranteeing that he's going to get a spot until we're sure that we have people that, like we've taken out the people that will feel needs it for the semester. Yeah, so what are the...
I find that very good though.
It is okay. I think so.
Like, if your kid doesn't need it, I'm very sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Like, if your kid doesn't need it, then like, do we not want to raise intelligent children? And like have the ones that need things to actually get them. I think
I'm sending them to pre-K because I have to go to work.
Oh, good point. Thank you.
I'm not sitting at home to take care of them. So I actually was afraid. I was worried. I'm like, oh my God, please let him have a spot, because I don't know, but I have a friend who teaches a kid just the way I do. I didn't have to wait for him to start school before I started teaching maths and teaching little things that I know. I even got books to start. So when he got to that pre-K level, he knew a lot of things. Like he could describe a lot of things. So I became worried. I'm like, when the lady was like, oh, he's actually absolutely good, I felt, oh, yeah, that's good. Then when she said he might not be getting the... I'm like, so I was supposed to tell him not to. Because I need him to start a pre-K so I can go to work. And I needed him to get into a pre-K where he will be there morning through evening. So I don't need to run the 3 hours shift and all that, right? So I was worried. Thank God. he actually got in. That's I think it's a good thing. That part, I think, I think
like
it's
that
a good
actually
thing.
Technically, like, puts you at a disadvantage and not necessarily him.
Yes, of course, of course. What he knows, he already knows.
Yeah, he already knows.
Yeah. What are the challenges do you think that the Canadian educational system, like the kids that move over, face here?
Oh, my friend told me, the daughter always called the teacher auntie. Back home in Nigeria, your teacher, you call your teacher auntie, uncle. So the teacher was concerned. She talked to the mom. She said, can you tell her not to call me auntie? We are not related.
In Nigeria, we're all related. Everyone is related.
Exactly. And she said, we are not related. So my friend had to explain to the teacher that, it's just something we do back home in Nigeria. We call our teachers by, auntie or uncle. He said, you can call me Miss this, or, And she said, okay. And they started working towards it. It was a challenge, but they started working towards that. How about the way
they relate to the teachers?
Like they're friends.
Yes, compared to like back home where the kids actually, revere their teachers as opposed to, having a good conversation. Nobody has actually mentioned, Okay, we talked about the no double promotion. I think I have something here. I said, the kids, I don't know for like if your kids actually, like if they went through that, they got bored when they got here with the class activities. I've heard like lots of, I think when we had one women program, people were talking about the fact that, please, what can I do to help my kids become very busy? They feel very bored with the curriculum because they've gone way past what they're doing in this grade. So I think it's a struggle for the kids.
I think it's, for as long as they're here, it's going to be a challenge for me because I just feel they're not doing enough. I'm that parent that every parent-teacher meeting, I'm like, okay, is there something we should be doing more? They're always, I don't even know. I don't know if it's part of the training. The teachers are always hyping them. I don't know if it's just me, but they're always like, oh, she's doing fantastically well. I'm like, yeah, I know that part. So what do we need? What do we need to work on? I mean, it can't be all good, but so I think that. In some cases, they're not motivated enough. The teachers don't agree with me, but I feel so. I remember when we first came, my daughter would come home and she'll be like, so what did you do in school today? Oh, we did math, and then we sang, and we played around a bit, and then I took a nap. And I'm like, you took a nap in school? Yeah, she said, yeah, Mommy, I was done with my work. How can you be done with your work? I'm giving you more work to do.
So I'm moved to ask these questions. One of the reasons why we moved here is to give those kids, better future, help them excel and have a great life. So do you guys think that the Canadian educational system kind of fosters a competitive drive in our kids to explore and attain our dreams for them?
In terms of innovation, I would say yes, because there's more exposure. Like you have kids. When we were doing social studies or current affairs, they were telling us things that happened before we were born. But these kids, they're doing current affairs. I mean, my daughter will come and say, oh, Mom, I need to watch the debates between this person and that person because that's what we're discussing tomorrow. That, I would say yes, in the sense that they have more exposure to things that we didn't have. Even the fact that they have technology.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see a computer system until I was in university. But my daughter's got Teams, she's got this one and that one. Even the little ones have a lot of apps. So the exposure gives room for innovation. But in terms of actually making them competitive and ready to fight out there, I would say no.
I disagree.
Because now everything, I check my kids' reports and, okay, meeting expectation. There's no score. I don't know which one.
Meeting expectation?
No, we need to see. We need to, yes.
Expectations you are meeting.
If you tell me, okay, she got 60 out of 70, then we need to, work on how to match up the remaining 10.
Why? Where would the remaining 10 take you to?
Oh, she got 90, where's the other 10? Like, how can she be happy with the 90?
No, so the thing is, the idea, I think, I actually can hug you. I wish I could hug you, honestly, because I felt the same way. What do you mean, like the kid is meeting expectation?
And you know why it becomes unrealistic is high school is not like that.
Yes.
So they've gone through elementary school thinking, it's easy,
might be
everything is fine.
It's difficult.
Lady, I do not agree. Look, the system here encourages you to be yourself. You don't have to be worried about, okay, just like you said, 60 over 70, what happened to the remaining 10? You don't have to worry about those pressure. You have to find yourself, find your passion.
There is no part of life that does not require a little push. A little push, just a further push.
Let them find their passion. Let them find. Is that Nigerian mom in you that is speaking? Let them find themselves.
This is very realistic.
I know. It's not like your child is failing. Yeah. It's not like your child.
He's not failing. Where's everything?
The teachers will not lie.
Okay, let me paint this scenario for you now. One of the times we're talking about this grouping or carryover. The first time I introduced it to Bloom, right? Bloom is my he's 6 now. I introduced it to him. I knew it was new. So I didn't expect him to get 100%. So for the first time, usually I would just, mark the stuff he does and I would give it back to me. And I did well and all that. But he missed a couple. And I marked it back. If you see the way he cried.
My daughter does that too. I don't understand.
He cried.
Like,
and I'm like, was I supposed to mark it good?
Let's mark it. But you got it wrong. No, Mommy, let's mark it.
he cried bitterly, like, Mommy, no, you cannot mark that wrong. I'm like, boy, you missed it. And the reason I'm marking it wrong is so that you can actually talk about it. I will guide you on what you missed. And guess where I just paused the whole thing? I gave him 80%. Oh, my God. He lost it. He cried that he's supposed to have 100%. I'm like, no.
And this is it. It's not like you're supposed to have 100%. I think the idea behind this is so that you don't feel shame. You don't feel like...
But I wouldn't shame him.
But every parent... Okay, let's be honest. Back home in Nigeria, you come even second. Your father will say, what happened to first?
Well,
you know, the person that came first, they have two heads.
Yeah, true.
So the system here encourages your child to, hey, look, you don't have to worry about your grading. You don't have to worry to be 100%. You don't have to be perfect.
First,
learn. That's just
Forget the grade for a moment. Learn. Figure it out.
I think we're in agreement about the learning.
The learn part,
the part that I am not in agreement with is they're setting them up to believe that everything is, you know, just take it at your own pace. Because even as easy and as comfortable as Canada is, everybody is not the same. There are people going to food bank to get food.
Yes.
So it means it's not balanced. You still have to, on your own, desire to be the best.
It's your job as a parent. No, okay,
because
I believe I'm on Team Folake on this one. Okay, look at it this way. Okay,
motivate your kids.
Hold on. Look at it this way. Look at it this way. They don't get grades, right? All they know is they meet expectations.
Right.
So what motivates the child to do better? What?
When you find your passion, you will be
do
better at
better.
it.
Are they going to find their passion at 3
Are they
or
going to
4?
Okay, you don't
They will eventually be graded. To push. So I'm not saying that the system is bad, but this is just how I feel about the fact that these kids don't resonate with fail and pass.
I mean,
but the world in reality,
I'll give you an example.
The world in reality presents that.
So I see something on YouTube. I think it's a little girl, and it was a group of students in Nigeria. They did something, you know how they showcase them and everything. And then I show it to my daughter, and the next thing is, Mommy, I don't want the pressure. Just let me go at my own pace. I'm like, this is not pressure. I'm telling you what is obtainable. I'm showing you possibilities. It doesn't mean you have to be them.
Yeah.
But I'm saying these are people. These are your age mates. You don't have. I don't even if it's just singing. If it's plates you want to wash or whatever. But I want to see that excellence. I want to see you push yourself.
Yes.
So
I don't think
kids
it's a
are
bad thing.
balking at, you know, don't push me, just let me do it at my own pace. Let me
Is the world
just
actually going at your pace?
It's not easy out there. When I got here,
the world is not going at your pace.
as good as I was a professional.
Your passion.
Even in your passion, you still need to
competitive out there.
Like they don't grade them at all. They just don't grade them when they're really young.
Oh, okay.
And that's fine.
They
get grades in high school. It's not as if they don't grade them at all forever.
Well,
it's that at that age, they don't want them to worry too much about the grades, but instead to start learning how to actually
hold
learn.
your thoughts. Let's go on a quick break. We'll come back to this question because, I'm still the team of a little push wouldn't hurt anybody. Stay with us. We'll be right back.